Three, two, one. Great. This is the ELEMENTUM journey diary, and I'm Ayrton Giulio. I'm so honored to be sharing my own journey together with you. And today we have Tudie, Stopparo, Elizabeth. We have this human being. She's another participant. She's another participant into this journey. And we're doing that together, and we're being so beautiful in it, right, Tudie?
We can't help it.
Yeah, we can help it. Exactly, we can help it. So as you might have watched or not the other episode, for now I say other because this is the second one officially. I will be reading the actual Elementum principle number 1 like last time, because we actually picked the first module this time as well. We're kind of going in order, and then we might be picking random modules because we feel like exploring that one instead of that one. It will really be in the moment, and as you know, this is unscripted. So module 1 is about understanding the human experience, and the Elementum principle number 1 is that your soul is always seeking to evolve and emerge, and as humans we experience that emergence through seeing the world outside of our current paradigm. And here's the explanation of them. Paradigms are the context through which we see the world. When we understand this distinction, we can truly work with, well, for us, our clients, but we can truly interact with other humans in creating a new, more expansive paradigm from which to live and create from. When we group this mental distinction and philosophical outlook together along with the energetics of how a human works, we can consider the whole human in our interactions. So whoever you'll be interacting with, and this is why we're sharing this, because we're passionate about it, because we're going through it. It is being so beneficial, directly or indirectly to us, to live it and to experience others. So why not to share it with you who are watching our diary, our video, video spoken page. And this was the Elementum principle number 1. And as I spoke already in the previous episode, I'd like to have Tudie to leave the space for you, Tudie, to open up with what's present for you regarding this first beautiful step that we've taken together into the journey.
Thanks. Yes, I like that Elementum decided to start with law of emergence. It feels really foundational now that we are 11 modules in, however many. Everything can be related back to this one. And I remember when we were first learning about it, when the first time we went through it, I remember thinking about all the living in community that I've done and how many times I've been humbled and realized, wow, you're coming from a totally different place than me, and you would be coming from a different place than me because you've had a different upbringing and different parents and different schooling, and you've watched different movies and you've had different siblings. And it's really comforting for me to realize that how different we are, and that there are people out there who are going to give me space to be different and understand that I have a different perspective because I've come from a different place. So something that's present for me being in Elementum is our trio is about to shift again. So we've had, there's like
big one.
It's big. Yeah, there's big. So there's 18 people in my group specifically. So there's I will end up half of my group I will have ended up in a trio with by the time we graduate. And feelings around, okay, these are different mirrors altogether. These are different people with different beliefs and different backgrounds and different awarenesses. Therefore, they're different mirrors for me. They'll be reflective listening to me in a different way. They'll be giving me different feedback. They'll be asking me different questions. They're going to need different clarity than a different person because of the way they understand things and the things they come into their questions with. So yeah, something that's present for me with all of it is just trio switching.
Yeah, you'll be emerging with other humans. That's so I reminded, I repeated, trios are the smallest version of the groups of the so we're 200 people. Those 200 people are divided into, I think it's 10 or 11 groups of about 20 people each. And in those smaller groups, there are trios. In trios, we coach each other weekly and observe each other weekly and give each other feedback weekly. And imagine sharing at the rawest of yourself with people you've never seen before. Eventually, now it's not a truth anymore. Now we tend to start having seen each other, having heard about each other a little bit more, but you just go dropping your deepest realization in the moment with people you've never seen and who are there for that, who are being trained and who truly desire to let you unfold, emerge, the law of emergence. We are there, and yes, we're going after this coaching certification, whether it's master coaching or not. It would just entail more hours of coaching during the program. That's how you become a master coach in the ELEMENTUM journey, in the ELEMENTUM for the ELEMENTUM Coaching Institute. But these trios really are, to me, an example of what society should be able to do. Like really being able to give feedback and give raw feedback, knowing that the other is willing to receive that feedback. And while you're not in the feedback observer mode, you're willing to receive support from another human, whoever that other human is. And the other human, whoever the other human is willing to support with no judgment, love, compassion. Of course, in our case, professionalism and a kind of experience, on-site experience, so to speak. But that's part of our job. What I'm looking at, and at what, talking about individual law of emergence, it's a beautiful thing. I am zooming out a little bit and seeing the ELEMENTUM journey as an individual itself, and what it is emerging out of this ELEMENTUM container. And it is what I see, it is emerging from that is humans who are activated to be humane again, or more than before anyways. And by again, I mean that we forget most of the times, right? And it's so evident in so many of the sharings, the crazy sharings and vulnerable raw sharings. We just connected with Tudie with another 30 of us, more or less. And the sharings were truly raw, truly human. And it is incredible how we all resonate with the fact that the more you share it, the more you shed it away. And it feels good.
Yeah, and maybe the more we share, the more we realize like how much maybe is a story and how much like when we hear ourselves share with other people, I think sometimes we're hearing it for the first times ourselves. So when I'm talking to you, I'm also hearing what I'm saying to you. And then I get to take that with me. And what did I choose to say? What did the mirror of having you be my mirror right in this moment bring me to choose to say? What did I learn about myself through having you as a mirror?
Mm. 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 What is emerging? What is emerging then now for you from that perspective?
No, I'm realizing that some of the invincibility of my youth is wearing off. I have a 25-year-old son, and he's been around lately, and just seeing that he's this like grown, massive, strong human being with his opinions and memories of me, knows me better than anyone else. So emerging for me right now is like owning that I'm like a woman and I have a grown child and I'm doing something new in my life, which is embracing a partnership. So I have this partner that I'm like, okay, I'm not necessarily a single nester anymore. My son's been moved out for 6 years. So becoming a partner, emerging into being a partner, and emerging into owning my wisdom that I've gained raising a child for 25 years and all the community that I've lived in, and just arriving to, after these couple of years of pandemic and all the things that shifted and all the things that changed, and for better, for worse, people's silver linings and everything that's come of it, and just saying, okay, I actually don't know what I'm going to do with this certificate and what I'm going to be doing next January or February. But I know that right now what I'm doing is focusing and paying attention and connecting and becoming aware of who I am and where I am and what I've come from and what comes up for me in the work, whether it's the homework or the trio or the call we were just on or this call right now.
It's beautiful to hear. It brings me into the reflection, right? Like it gets me a little bit back to the multiple whys, to the multiple reasons I thought I felt this calling to be doing this diary, recording it, and I don't know, putting it on YouTube in the first place. And it is to raise questions. So you shared your very human experience, and I had goosebumps myself because I'm turning 28 and I have a 2-year young, I like to say young, it's a 2-year young, or 2 years alive human, hopping in and out the room, jumping around, and life in its emergence, in its great becoming, as I like to call it, will flow into me being in your position and into him being in your son's position. Did I say that right? I think so. Like him being in your son's position and me being in yours. Yes. So what can I reflect upon hearing yours? And what whoever is listening right now can reflect upon about whatever resonates. Pretty sure there's so much that resonates. We all want, like, understanding the human experience, the title of this module, of the first module, right? I mean, understanding the human experience. The human experience is the same, different experience for everyone. It is the same, different experience for everyone. And it's so cool to learn about others' humans' experiences. I mean, this thing of the emergence, then what is there? What is there? Like the metaphor that they used, to be able to see the unseen, and realizing that there's so much of what we know or what we think we know that we don't really know. And how knowing that, getting to know that, acknowledging that, discovering, uncovering that let some more truthful part of us emerge, come out, express, and how valuable there is no matter what.
Yeah.
How valuable that is no matter what. Like during the role sharing of Darcy, is her name, right? Darcy experience today, and I now want to say the actual experience because I said the name. I did this sort of like and I didn't want to say the name, but I said the name. So it was so true. Like the pain and that could happen to anyone. That by the way, that will happen to everyone at a certain point, because it's really humane, like about life and death and growing up. What can I learn right away? She's opening up, sharing sorrow, her reaction, her humane reaction to it. What can emerge in me right away that I can observe immediately right now that will help me as an understanding when I get there?
What's coming up for me is sacred. Sacred. Like like your experience, nobody else has. The accumulation of all the things you've ever taken in that have created you and the paradigms that you're in, and same with Darcy, and same with me, and same with anybody listening, and same with our master coaches. It's totally sacred, unique to them. Like there's only one of you and there's only one of me. So I'm the only one that can put into the world the light that I'm going to put into the world. I'm the only one. No one else.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
But it can only come from sacred. It can only come from where I've been. All the and the choices I make and the spin and all the things. Oop, you're muted. You back?
Oh yeah. I don't know, something was happening. Yeah, yes, Tudie. The sacredness, this word that you said, made the whole energy move in I don't know what fashion, like spirals upward, downward. Sacredness. It's so sacred. It is so sacred. It is so important to understand these ourselves, others,
yeah,
and respect it,
yeah,
and embrace it, like literally, like embrace it, embrace it. How to say, hug it.
yeah.
It's
Be
so
with it.
so important. Be with it. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You said that so beautifully, right? So maybe is there any specific paradigm that you went through, let go of, worked through, that I don't know, that you'd like to share briefly, like before we close?
Yeah, when I discovered Elementum, my head had all these stories about why it would never be anything that I would do, but my heart knew I was going to do it. And one of the big stories from my head was, well, Tudie, you can't even use a computer to save your life. My relationship to computers, my relationship to the internet, to PDFs, to smartphones, to printers just didn't exist. Like friends had to text me and say, I sent you an email. Will you please look at it? And so I signed up for Elementum, not even ever having Zoomed before. So a paradigm that changed for me was, I'm not good at computers.
Oh, wow. You're doing this. You're doing this, human.
Yeah, technology doesn't, maybe in a different lifetime, like I'm just gonna stay over here and not embracing what could come to me. And then my learning curve, in order, like I spent 2 or 3 months before Elementum started, I hired a friend who, compared to me, is basically a technology wizard because she knew how to use her computer and she could teach me how to use mine, and started to unravel all the dysfunctions that I had when it came to like using the screen and saving things. I was never even turning off my computer. I wasn't updating it. It was constantly saying, hey, do you want to update? And I was like, tomorrow. And so I busted out of this belief system that computers weren't for me, and that what that brought me was this super steep learning curve, and getting on the welcome call and being on the first Zoom and being with the trio and downloading PDFs and printing stuff and passing in homework and trying to find my master project somewhere in Google Classroom and all the Kajabi and all the different platforms that we were using, and watching myself have this super steep learning curve. And I didn't even know I was going to do the master coaching track until 3 weeks in, because I just figured, how could I possibly be in this program and do the master coaching track? I don't even know how to use a computer. And then 3 weeks in, I was like, I can do it. I'm going to do it. And I jumped on board, and I'm on track, and just a decision I tried to make for myself. But I just had this belief system that I don't do that. That's not for me. That's not something that I embrace. I'm not going to learn that. I'm not good with computers. And now, like, I don't know, I've figured out how to get here with you right now, which is not
So
the thing I was doing a year ago. That's for sure.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I swear. I mean, you said that you were on Facebook, and to me that was a beautiful choice, and that you tapped into Facebook because of Elementum. And I mean, from a guy from the 90s, like I'm from 1994, I'm like it's like wonderful, like what a great choice not being on Facebook, like fantastic. Now you're saying this to me, and I'm like, oh my god, boom, you hit me.
Yeah,
it's a huge paradigm shift, and it shows how much we can
here. Yeah, I came from here. Like, my head was saying don't do it, but my heart was saying there's something out there for you, there are people out there for there's things for you to learn. My first trio mates, my second trio mates, the call we were just on, what you and I have sacred to bring to each other. That's my heart knew that I could embrace technology in 2022, and that there were people out there, that my world was bigger than I was making it in my own backyard, and that there were people in other countries and other places that had things for me to learn and that could learn from me. So that's a paradigm that I just water level move change.
You know, yes. And as you just said, not having been tapped into this technology, just to give it in one word, you've been tapped into something different, and all of that different, because the time we have is the same amount of time, and the span of life you've lived, you spent it into something different. So that means that there's something, like there's a huge amount of knowledge over there that if I spent your same amount of time on this earth and tapped into technology, I am just investing my time into something different. Therefore, I can surely learn something from you. And now you're deploying all of that through technology, because that's what technology does, basically. And this paradigm that you went through, it's really beautiful to hear. Like the courageous, you said you came from here. You say you came from here. That's courage. Acting from the core. It's cor agere from Latin. It's acting from the heart. And when you do it, you break through invisible illusions of traumas, emotions that are stuck in there, and you did it. Wow, I'm so proud of you. I'm so honored, glad that we connected and that you shared this, and that I asked you this question, like what's the paradigm shift. That was like huge, I believe, for everyone. And I would like to end it, because otherwise it would eventually go very long. But now take Tudie as an example for our listeners, right? Take Tudie as an example. For you, it might be like, what? This girl hasn't been on technology. That's ridiculous. No, no, no. Wait, apart from your judgmental thinking, which is natural, so to speak, realize how you have no idea about something and you have perfect idea about something else. And this is just an example. I have no idea about technology and I have a lot of ideas about something else. And now I'm expanding my paradigm, my understanding into this new thing. And I'm emerging through this, in this, as this, and I'm not a victim of that anymore. For levels of consciousness, right? I promised that I would just hop on and speak about it anyway. So I will probably have to do it alone or with someone else or with you, Tudie. The 4 levels of consciousness. Wow. Thank you for the inspiration.
Yeah.
Thank you for the inspiration. What is that you believe it's kind of like out of this dimension for you? Actually, I would ask whoever now, because Tudie did it. For example.
Yeah, and I'm grateful because had I been embracing it all along, this would be a different person in front of you. So it's the me that wasn't embracing it until I was ready, until I was called to do it, that allows me to have been spending the time doing other things and in other places with other people. And so that's what I'm able to bring now to the technology, is the me that wasn't embracing it. That's just who I am. I just have to own it. That's what I was doing. So I'm emerging. So it's like my ceiling was here, or my seed and my sprout was here.
Yeah.
And I'm just in a place of like cracking the seed and allowing myself to sprout out through the seed. So it's just a ceiling for me. I met a ceiling and I decided to go through the ceiling.
Fantastic.
And there'll be others.
Yeah, I mean, so guys, we'll close this, we'll wrap it up this now, and with the promise, because with Tudie we're kind of committing to do this quite regularly. Don't know whether it goes on weekly, bi-weekly, but anyway, we'll go on regularly, and you will be you'll be seeing how the evolution of this goes, and how things build up on top of the other, and yeah, it's pretty powerful. I'm looking forward to it together with you, and I am grateful for whoever listened and got inspired, and to get in touch with us. I'll probably drop some connection, contact, whatever, in the description of this video, to if that's right for you, like maybe your email, and so people can reach out, be inspired, and talk more to you.
Yeah.
And to me as well. And thank you a lot.
Thank you for calling me in.
Absolutely. So, dear Elementum's Diary listeners, viewers, followers, talk to you to the next video page. Yay, big heart, big heart.